Hello everyone, welcome back to Where in the World is Juliet? This is going to be on how to do a FOIA request. Well, first let's start with a FOIA request, what it is. Okay, a FOIA request is a Freedom of Information Act request. It's a particular document. You'll find the document below. It's fill in the blank. I'm also, well, you won't find the document below. You'll find a link to the document below. And then I have a link to somebody else's video explaining it. But I want you to understand, under FOIA, you can request emails from, it's the reason Hillary Clinton's emails were such an issue. Her private server allowed her to circumnavigate FOIA. That was the whole point, right? So, like Robert Runcie, who was the superintendent of Broward Schools until he recently got let go with an incredible severance package he never should have gotten. He also had a private server, I know, because we have at least like 4 different emails from him, including one like robertruncie.com or robertwruncie.com or whatever. I'd have to go look at the records. So, you can request the emails of your teacher. This has already been tested in court. Most of them, on the bottom of their email, if you ever got an email from a teacher, an administrator, or anything, on the bottom, there's this little paragraph that lets them know that everything is public. Every email. Every single one. Now, so are text messages. Just thought I'd let you know. They're harder, but text messages fall under FOIA too. So let's say you're at a school board meeting or a city council meeting and you see somebody using a cell phone. You're going to want to ask them at some point, is that a personal cell phone or is that, cell phone for the city or school board or whatever? Because if it's personal, during the times of that meeting, you may potentially have access to those emails if they're using personal text. And if they're on a school board phone, which a lot of the school board members get their phones paid for, all of those text messages are absolutely covered under FOIA. So, the document is really fill in the blank, and you can request anything public. They may have to redact it, right? If it's dealing with children, they may have to go and blank out the thing. Now, here's the rub. They can charge you. They're only supposed to be able to charge you a reasonable amount. So, I'm going to give an example. So there was a mother, and I used this in the last video, I'm going to use the same example. The mother was requesting the financial records of her daughter, what they spent for her daughter in education. And I would encourage everybody to go figure out how much the school board budget is and divide how many students there are. Because in Broward County, it's like they claim 9,000 plus is what they spend per student. But if you take their annual budget, which I actually think is low, when you divide it by the number of students, it's about 14,000 plus, closer to 15 than 14. So you want to start there and figure that out. But with the FOIA request, you can start making these requests because they have time. Sometimes you have to do the same request if it's really good information. You have to do that same request 3 and 4 times before you get it. Be persistent. Document everything. First request, second request, third request, fourth request. Because, and then you can keep submitting the same one, right? And you do this by calling your district or your city, right? If it's a city commissioner, and you're looking for the person who handles the FOIA requests, and you're going to address it to that person who is the person who handles the FOIA requests. You fill it all in exactly as you want it, what dates you want it from, who you want them from. It can even be time frame, like I said about the text during a public meeting. And then I'm going to ask you, and I don't do this. I mean, my people on my other channel that I lost will let you know that it's pretty rare that I ask for money. I was paying a lot of attorney's fees fighting the person who was suing me to keep me silent. And I got some help from my subscribers, which was great. But other than that, I don't ask for anything. I usually don't put a PayPal. I have been putting the PayPal now. I am going to tell you that the reason I'm putting the PayPal is I'm donating the first $100. I'm just letting everybody know. But like this one mother, she wanted her financial records, right, for her daughter. And they blew it out of proportion that it was going to be like, I think it was almost $800 was what they were trying to charge her for running some reports. Okay, and it's because they didn't want her to see the information, and I couldn't afford to pay it, and she couldn't afford to pay it, and then, you know, and I'm just thinking, if we start to collectively get money, even if you have FOIA requests that don't get filled, we would have a fund to pull from. So, zero pressure. Everybody's in financial constraints. I added my own $100. This is the account I've used for Hibbs for Change since the beginning on PayPal. I'll put that link below. And I will tell you, I have 2 dinky things that get paid out of that each month, but I'll be paying it myself. I'll just add the money back. Because what I really want to do is I want to be able to give people the avenue to pay those FOIA requests, to get the information they're looking for that the school boards are trying to keep from them. There's so much information that I need to give you, but I'm going to stop right here because I really just wanted to do this about the FOIA request. You go in and you find out who is the representative for whatever you're trying to get, city, school board, whatever. You find out who handles the FOIA requests. You can usually even get an email. And once you type this out once, because it'll take you to a thing, I encourage you to just type it out yourself. Just make sure. There is a section in there that says optional for what you're willing to pay. I always pulled that out. Always pulled that out. So they can determine how much I had to pay. And then hopefully if people donate, then we'll have some financial recourse to, like a mom that gets hit with $1,000 to try and get these records for her daughter, and Discovery, and well, I'm just hoping we can all work together on this. And that's really about it. I want you to all, God bless, have a great day. Really, I think that if we work together and team, so start to team build. Whatever you're fighting, start to team build, because you have to take back your local governments. God bless you all. Bye.